keep up the grind. Oba definitely doesn't work as hard as Laka. Arsenal need people who lead by example by the minute. To be fair, man, I've said Laka hasn't, but I feel you. I feel you. You know, and again with Lacazette, it has to be a question mark. If you give me a sec, I want a bit of a running order for what we're actually going to speak about. I want to make sure I actually talk about what's in the title. First, we'll speak in relation to Lacazette. Then we'll speak about Aubameyang. You know, then we'll speak about Smith Rowe. And I guess I'll offer my opinions on a whole. You know, I'm trying to have some structure to this, people. I'm not gonna lie to you lot. You lot are gonna have to wait a sec though, because I think my other live stream is now out, and I ain't put the ads in there. I'm gonna keep it real, people. The ads are not there yet, you know. But they try to do this thing for free, so literally, I'm right here in front of you. 1 ad, 2 ads. I see. Look, I don't even do like dirty with the ads, but come on, man. You know you need to get them ads in there. The little pennies we can get. Leaving a video unmonetized, especially a 2-hour live stream, it don't make much sense. It don't make much sense. And I really appreciate you guys for rocking with my live streams and my watch alongs and things as well, because that's been where I'm seeing the most growth. So I appreciate all of you guys, people. So yeah, man. You know, man, are on to Aubameyang. You know, man, are on to him. I agree with Rashid. You play players who are in form. It's not hard. It's not hard. Play your informed players. Protect your out of form. I hear that when man say, "Yo, try and play people into form" and things like that. But I think you've got to keep it trill. I also agree with Dane. You know, they've got different compliments. You know, Lacazette, not that Aubameyang is right now, but Lacazette isn't a 20 league goal scoring man. You know, Lacazette doesn't score 20 league goals, so you need someone who can in Aubameyang. But like you see, when there's not a game where there's much space and you need a hold up man and things like that, Lacazette's got that. That's probably why I don't think Arteta is fully convinced in Aubameyang. I think he definitely knows about the problems he can cause on his day with his pace and his goal scoring ability, but I don't think he has it all. And I think it's almost either or, really, because you know when you bring Lacazette, sometimes let's not lie. Sometimes Lacazette has been walking around on the football field. Sometimes he hasn't looked like the Lacazette, but on his day, like recently, he's had a spring in his step. He's been pressing. Even games where he hasn't scored or assisted, he's still played well. Today he's the super sub. He come off the bench, but it's almost the two evils, because you know sometimes there's games where Lacazette's pace, he's not harming the team, so they're coming further and further and forward. Obviously, I've spoken about Aubameyang's hold-up play. So it's like you've got a great goal scorer who's not really a hold-up man. You've got Lacazette, who's got all other strengths, but isn't a consistent goal-scoring threat. Yes, he scored today, and he's very much a plan B. I think you need both, but I think what harms Arsenal is you know, if you could add them together or just have one of them with both facets of both game, they'd be half decent. But you need either or. Sometimes we're going to need to play both of them. Sometimes it's going to be one. And for me, we need good options, you know. Martinelli through the middle, Saka on the left, Pepe on the right if Pepe was in form. Or do you move Aubameyang to the left, go with Saka on the right, go with Aubameyang? Or even if Martinelli can learn to play on the right. We need several problems, you know, and we need several problems and things like that. And that's only going to come in these attacking players. It's only, obviously it's close. You know, it's very close when you talk about, how do I make it make sense? It's very close when you talk about selling players and things like. It's very difficult to talk about selling players and things like that. So we have to be careful, because you know Aubameyang might be the villain this week. Lacazette's the hero next week. You know, man used to turn on. Go back a few games ago. Man, we're onto Lacazette for missing sitters, and man, we're praising Aubameyang. Things quickly change, and it's a squad game, and we need these problems, especially in the wide areas and the attacking options. We have problems. You know, we have problems. I don't think Aubameyang will be dropped, but you can't disagree with the way he's playing, the way we've played in the last 2 games and what he's done. You know, I didn't really see Aubameyang taking on players. Obviously, the shooting thing for me is a tale of 2 games, people, in a sense of tale of 2 halves, in a sense of Aubameyang's got to take the decision-making upon himself to say, you know what, forget these, man. They're not creating. I'm going to shoot. I don't think we created much for him. But then again, second half, he had at least 2 clear-cut chances where it's all down to his decision-making. On the left-hand side, there was one where we broke very well in the second half. And then it was unrelated to this, but there was even an incident where I'm seeing man just volley it unnecessarily, you know. So if Lacazette is going to be dropped, I mean, if Aubameyang, apologies, is going to be dropped, I don't think he can complain. I don't think we're going to drop our captain, but at the same time, I don't think a captain is undroppable. If you're not doing the business and other man are, you know, you've got to wake up. And for me, that sells, you know, that tells the other players there's chances here. I have to fix up, or other men are going to take my spot. Or if I do my thing, I'm going to play, you know. So I guess there is something. But Aubameyang might be the villain today and the hero tomorrow, because we might go into a game like against West Brom. I do think you need Lacazette strengths, because against West Brom, you're going against physical powerhouses in Semi Ajayi. But also in a game like that, you need Aubameyang's movement and things like that. Say we play Aubameyang, I mean, Lacazette, he starts. It always happens. It's the man that's not involved that is the man that we all scream and shout about. So while I feel Aubameyang can be dropped, I think we have to be very careful when writing off players. And I think Arsenal fans, like all fans, we're very quick to just, you know, just do things. Some small minority of fans proclaimed Bellerin is back, and he had a good game in my opinion today. But you've seen inconsistencies. There was talk around giving El Nene a new deal, and I'm not saying he played good today. I'm not saying he played bad, but do you get where I'm going? We're so quick to find storylines. Man, throughout Lacazette's career at Arsenal, last 2 years, he's been written off. Now everybody's singing his praises. Even Aubameyang, man was saying to sell him. And I remember West Ham away a couple of years ago, man were onto him, you know. I think he will come good. I keep saying that. I'm going to back Lacazette. But at the same time, if he is dropped, can't disagree. You know, you're not doing the business, you know. I don't think Bellerin should be a star. I don't think he's a starting quality. But over the last 180 minutes, I don't think he can be dropped for West Brom. Now, if he plays Buki against West Brom, I'm going to sit there and go, yo, mate, Lanau, Cedric, new right back, this, that, and the third. He is at the lowest point. You know, he is at his lowest point. But for me, it was the mentality. I wanted to see Aubameyang kind of angry, not angry at himself that how am I keep missing this, but vexed. I didn't see, like, it was a bit too nonchalant, like some of them chances he got in the second half, and he was a bit too carefree with it. Now, for me, the way Arsenal are playing, it's not the time for individuals. Of course, Lacazette super sub, you know, Smith Rowe once again quality game, Saka superb in the second half. A man can talk about bare individuals, same way about Chelsea, but the way Arsenal are playing, it's not really about who scores. It's not really about who individually plays well. Collectively, we need points on the board, and collectively, we need to play well. We got out of it, you know. We did what we needed to do today. But again, you know, Lacazette's a hero today. He might be a villain tomorrow. The villain tomorrow is the hero the next day. You lot get it. You lot see it yourselves, people. You know, it's quite crazy in that regards, people. Really and truly. Oh yeah, man. I don't think Lacazette would Aubameyang would be dropped. I wouldn't drop Aubameyang. I'd still play him, but at the same time, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing if it's like, raw, I'm on the bench. Okay, let me fix up. You know, because for me, Aubameyang's there now. He just needs a couple goals to get going, but he's at the stage like where I say with Pepe. Now I'm looking at, it's not working for you up front. You need to clearly go back to basics. You know, what extra work are you doing? You know, out of training, you know, out of the usual training you're doing. Are you going back to basics, shooting and finishing practice? Because you don't become a bad striker overnight. You don't become a good one overnight. Maybe he has naturally declined. Maybe he's lost a yard of pace. Maybe it is the contract. I can't tell you lot are wrong for thinking these things, because you know, as fickle as football is, if he was doing the business on a football field, we wouldn't be talking about that. Me, I just really care about our young players. They excelled, people. And on that, you know, We've spoken about Aubameyang on the same topic with Aubameyang, and well, more or less El Nene, and you know, there's talk of holding and getting a new deal. You know, Arsenal have a lot of players dotted around that team who they're hot and cold. 1 minute they play amazing, one player they're not. They have good moments of form. You know, David Luiz played no part today. David Luiz can fall under that. Rob Holding can fall under that. Pepe can fall under that. Xhaka and El Nene of recent. Xhaka, his whole time since he's been here, he hasn't been terrible every game. He's just had a lot of terrible moments. There's a lot of hot and cold. Man, inevitably, like I said, Lacazette isn't hitting the world a lot. Like, he's not scoring 1,000 goals and doing mad stuff. He's just playing well. So I don't really think there's pressure to give him a new deal. But initially, you know, inevitably, better yet, there's going to be talk over Lacazette. Should Lacazette get a new deal? You know, and to a degree, you have to entertain it, because El Nene played good for 2 seconds. Someone that is in Arsenal's team by accident. You know, he's here by accident. We couldn't move him on, so we're using him, sort of thing. That's it. There was talk of him getting a new deal, and we all know it's different. But Lacazette, there's going to inevitably be talk about about Lacazette needing a new deal and things like that. Personally, I'd sit on our hands and not move at all, because what happens if the same thing with Aubameyang happens? You've got two players that are not performing on big deals. You've got Willian there. As long as there's no talk over a new contract for Lacazette, he has to keep playing well, whether he's playing for a future here or elsewhere. We'll have to see, but I back Lacazette. Lacazette's played well. I want everyone to play well. I want good problems. I want us as football fans, or better yet, as Arsenal fans, to sit here in good spirits, people, as we are so far. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. Please make sure we're on 72 likes. There's 169 of you watching. What are you guys doing, people? Show a guy some love. So I don't think we should entertain any talk about Lacazette getting a new deal, because again, if we look at it, I'm not gonna, he's played well against Chelsea. He's played well against Brighton. I think he didn't score or assist, but he played very well against United. He's been pretty good in recent weeks. He was good against City. I think he was unfortunate to be dropped today, and even then he put a positive 2 fingers up at Arteta, because I thought there was a good chance Martinelli would drop to the bench, Smith Rowe could, or Lacazette, and Lacazette was the unlucky one. In a positive way, he's put 2 middle fingers up at Arteta and said, yo, you should have played me, make sure you don't make that mistake against West Brom. And that's what I want to see. I want Arteta to have a headache. No, I've got to play Lacazette through the middle, so that means Aubameyang on the left. If I put Aubameyang on the left, I can't drop Martinelli. Saka on the right, this and that. Smith Rowe, I can't drop him, so I can't move Lacazette here. Play Aubameyang through the middle and Martinelli. We need these problems. It's been too easy, rightly or wrongly, because some decisions prior to these last 2 games we've won, we've looked at Arteta a bit fun, and he's like, why are you doing that? But I think it's too easy to pick the Arsenal lineup. You pick Hellerman, pick by default. Leno picks himself because he's good. Tierney picks himself because he's good. People can say what they want about Aubameyang, but 9 times out of 10, he's going to make Arsenal's best 11 if we need to win a game. And then you've got the young players dotted around, and there's Hellerman by default. El Nene's there by default. Xhaka's probably there by default. If not them, there's Ceballos. Hellerman are in the team by default. And I don't think your manager has to have a headache. Going into games like Chelsea, I need to see, or today, I need to see the manager with headaches, and I think it's been too easy to pick the team. The more performing players we have, the better we perform, the easier it gets for us as fans, because we're having and Arteta has problems. It's a good result. It's a bit of a different one. We were playing ugly. We started strong for 10 minutes and then bottled it, but we got out of it. A clean sheet away from home. Lacazette scored a goal away from home. I can't complain, people. I can't complain, but I don't think we should talk about Lacazette signing a new deal, at least until I see significant form. And when I ask about it, when I look at it, what am I praising Lacazette for? He's very underrated in what he brings to the team in terms of his hold-up play, making players play better and stuff. But when I look at it on a harsh thing, and like I said, I think Lacazette could stay, or if he leaves, we need to bring in another striker. I think I've been telling you lot that watch my live streams, I've been saying people underestimate a black backup striker. Giroud is not Frank Lampard's cup of tea. But you see what Giroud scored yesterday, and you see what Giroud saved their bacon for top 4 last season, and you seen what he's done. You've seen the little dribs and drabs from Cavani, Lacazette today. You need other man in the team, It's a 38-game calendar, and as you saw, not everybody can be at it, sort of thing. So I don't think we should rush to sign Lacazette to a new deal, because as much as I praise him, and I think you need a plan B striker, and there's every reason I think Arsenal might let his contract run down, I believe at the same time, respectfully, people, should I give you a new deal because you work hard? Should I give you a new deal because you're a striker who is known for hold-up play, displaying hold-up play and being consistent? Or are these givens? Is it warranting giving him a new deal? We're evidently going to talk about moving someone like Martinelli through the middle. So do you get it? How long are we going to stay with Martin? What is going to happen there? For me, I like Lacazette. He never complains. At least, clearly he's unhappy not to play, but he keeps going. What was I going to say as well? And from all them young players I speak to, again, it's irrelevant because all that matters is what you're doing on the football field. But Lacazette's a very good character around them. Lacazette is very good with the young players. You see what he's doing with Martinelli. All the young players you've seen me do interviews with, they've said Lacazette, he's always willing to give tips and stuff. You need man like that around the team. You know, I just think regardless, we need to look for another striker with Aubameyang and Lacazette's futures in mind, because neither are going to be here long enough. I wouldn't personally sign Lacazette to a new deal right now in December, but we'll have to see what happens, people. In relation to Aubameyang, we're at. We gave a man a deal, so we've got to ride it out. But at the same time, you have to drop man that aren't playing well, people. You have to drop man that aren't playing well at all. Let me get into